Maurice Mizrahi, thank you for the beautiful spread. This guy's rolling. Mazza chips.
McAllen 30.
McAllen 30 got
There,
monkey shoulder, right?
Wow. Monkey shoulder.
And the sponsor is right here, Jackie Mosseri. Jackie Moss. He sponsored a beautiful. Maurice picked the charity. You picked Hatzalah of Miami, right? They got hit with the hurricane.
Hurricane relief.
Got hit. Yeah, I saw pictures. After you told me, the pictures were a little rough, you know.
Because I saw Hatzalah of Williamsburg.
Yeah, they went there.
Very good pick.
They need help, you know. They need help. It's
That's like Florida didn't get that.
They didn't get that bad. They didn't get so bad. According to what they thought it would be, but they still got it.
There's other places. There's other places outside of Miami.
Right, there's still Naples and West Palm Beach, right? The Keys got
the west side, the whole west side of Florida.
The Keys know that when they live there, they're living in the ocean. The Keys know that.
No? You know that? That's why they got hit.
No.
Yeah, but they said Turnberry area, nothing.
Probably a couple of trees.
Because it's not on the water.
The west side got more Naples, West Palm Beach.
It's right off the water.
It's off the bay, not off the ocean.
You know, Harvey got bad also. Harvey was
Supposed to hit
bad.
the East Coast and hit the West.
Houston was bad. Houston was bad. Yeah, they got the Jewish community got hit hard, and they have big houses. They have huge houses.
Texas?
Yeah, the Jews that live there, they had big houses. I saw the houses.
Oil and oil, no?
I don't know what they do, but they had the community there. Big accent. All right, so thank you for Jackie Mosseri for sponsoring, for Maurice for hosting. Hashem shall only give you guys blessing and more blessing and more blessing. Amen. Have a good new year. Amen. So basically, it's giving us a little hint to what we need to have in our minds going to next year. And I always like to say, like the first pasuk is like a little hint of what the whole parasha speaks about. It says, "Atem netzabim hayom." The word in English means you're standing today. You're standing today, kulchem, everyone. You're all standing here today. The question is, why do you need to tell me today? That's why you're standing in front of Hashem, so on, so forth, the whole parasha. It says you are standing today. The rabbis say, whenever they say today, it means that every single day you have an opportunity to say, today is the day I start. And every single day there's a new opportunity to start fresh. We don't have that in Judaism. There's no past tense coming into your present tense, coming into your future. They don't believe in that. Every day is a new day. That's why when we wake up we say Modani. Thank you Hashem for giving my neshama new. Elohai neshama. Shnatata bi neshamati b'teorah. You give me a new soul. Because if I went to sleep last night and I ate kosher last night, I woke up this morning, I'm a new Jew. And if a guy has that next morning feeling like, oh, what did I do last night? That's asur. We don't do that. New day, new person. You can be a totally bad guy and wake up one morning and say, starting new. Atem netzabim hayom, today. Today you have a brand new opportunity to do whatever you want. It's a new year, right? So everyone has that opportunity to say, okay, what do I want to do for this new year? I want to take one thing that I want to be good at. If it's tzedakah, if it's chesed, if it's doing, I don't know, they have mitzvah men and all these things, right? You want to give flowers to somebody for Shabbat. You want to send money on one of those websites, right? They have a website called Chesed Funding, whatever it's called. One of the crowdfunding sites. It's called Chesed Fund. It's like crowdfunding for crowd. It's like one of those GoFundMe things, but it's only for like real Jewish things, and there's no percentage. The guy who did it, I spoke to the guy who did it. Really, he doesn't take any money. There's no fee. He has someone sponsoring the website just do maintenance. And let's say you donate, let's say whatever the program got $1,000. $1,000 goes to the person. So it's not like GoFundMe where you pay $800 and $200 goes to the side. It's total. So something like this, you can take yourself and say, wow, you know what? Every week I want to take $50. I want to split it up. Give this guy, this family, and you see there's real cases. So you can take anything you want.
You can the Chesed Fund, right?
It's called Chesed Fund, yeah. It's an amazing thing. I personally, Chesed.com. You can see just the whole platform, all different things, with the video of the person, the whole situation. And then you can donate, and then you can write anonymous. It's just nice you do something that you actually feel that you're going to help the person out. Guys that lost his house in the hurricane. So he needs 200 grand. I need 200 grand for what? He writes down. To get a contractor, to get a new architect, to get this, and I'm helping the guy out. So just small things. It could be anything. It could be going to shul. It could be doing chesed with someone. It could do all.
also be a scam, no?
It
I was about to say, like,
No.
half falling down.
So
Now listen, you take the good with the bad, and you
Yeah, but
gotta,
like,
you have to
Jews know-
understand.
Jews
And anything
know
you
each other,
touch, and
so,
anything you touch, there could always be
Right.
something.
But is it
some-
still
Listen.
tzedakah even if you know the guy might have the money? He just
So,
doesn't want to spend.
famous question. You go to this guy comes in shul, right? You know this guy is definitely a scam. You know it's a scam. Looks like he has the money. You don't need it, right? But you tell yourself, should I give him a dollar, not give him a dollar? Sketch. For you, what do you care? Give him a buck. Even if he's lying. You give him a mitzvah, regardless. You give him a mitzvah regardless. So what do you care? You give him a dollar, you give him 50 cents?
What if he's there every single day?
Right,
in
so
his face?
so if he's there, it happened one time. I saw a guy. No, I saw a guy one time. One time I
Guys,
saw.
they walk around shoes all day. All day long.
I saw him.
Makes a living doing that.
money than me.
One time I saw a guy. I'm telling you, I saw a guy one time come to shul, and he looked very strange. Like this guy.
I need him timed out to the millisecond.
Right.
The guy's running to the message. Surely he has to be on time.
I saw a guy did it one time. He looked very strange, and I was driving down King's Highway. I saw him in Starbucks.
Yeah.
I saw a guy was
got
regular,
fried?
like no, he was like a totally
$5 Coke.
weird guy.
$5 coffee. What's
And then
this?
the next day he came to shul
The
and he came to
coffee in
me.
the shul is free.
I told him,
He's
listen,
there.
people are gonna catch up to you. They're gonna
Nice.
realize you're going to E16 and King's Highway. They're gonna see you. It's obvious, I told him. You have to know what you're doing. You can't just if you want to go to Starbucks, go farther. Don't go here.
Coffee, bro.
Take the train to the city.
Right.
The coffee in the shul is
Charge
free.
me by the hour,
The coffee in the shul is free.
Wow, what advice?
Right. It's smart. Okay, fine. So that's something else. Everyone has the opportunity to take on their own opportunity to do whatever they want. If it could be business. So today, this year, I want to start a new thing, a new division, a new thing, a new idea. You got to know how to sometimes just turn that switch on and go with it. That's what the Parasha says. Atem netzabim hayom. Today you have every day is a new day. I want to give you guys a story from the Gemara. It's a very, very famous story, and it's got a lot of meaning to it, a lot of deepness to it. You covering the bread? Covering the matzah? You're doing Kaddish on the wine right
There's
now.
a fly
You
coming
right?
in on it.
It's little Yitzaras flying around. Okay. So there's an interesting Gemara on Masechet Baba Metzia. It's a beautiful story. It's got so much depth to it. There was a rabbi named Resh Lakish. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yeah.
Resh Lakish.
Gangster.
Gangster. His name is Resh Lakish. You know why? Resh is the head. Lakish for the pirates. This guy was a number one bandit.
He's a rabbi?
Rabbi. Tamai, the Gemara.
He was a pirate.
He was the head.
Bandit like he's a
Like a
badass,
real.
or it's a dark guy?
No. A real bandit. He was a real pirate.
A pirate.
He was the head of the pirates. You call him Captain Hook,
Brother.
right? Resh Lakish.
Right.
That's his name, Resh
He's a
Lakish.
rabbi?
You can see the story.
Him around.
He used to hijack and rob every single person that walked in his area. This is the story. He comes one day to rob none less than the huge Tana Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Big, huge rabbi, talking about rabbis that were able to do things that the Gemara speaks
The
about.
rabbis years ago didn't have money. What is he robbing the rabbi?
Happens to be this rabbi had one. He was also like a prince of the city. He had money, so he comes to rob him. Comes to actually rob the rabbi, right? He comes to rob him, and the Gemara says he comes to the Yarden, the river over there, when the rabbi is going to wash and bathe. He comes to hijack him, to rob him. And the rabbi tells him, Rabbi Yochanan tells him, before he goes, before you rob me, I just want to tell you, kochacha la Torah. Your power that you have, we need it in the Torah world. Your strength, your mighty, your energy, I need it in the Torah world. Leave the bandits alone. Leave your old world behind. I need you to be with us. And he says, the bandit tells the Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, he says, your face, your beauty, is for the girls. Why? Because Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai is one of the top prettiest people that ever lived in the world. A few of them were Yosef. Yosef was so beautiful that even the men wanted him. Even the men wanted him. That's how pretty he was. Potiphar bought him for himself, not for a slave. Bought him for himself to use him. That's what Potiphar bought him for. He was beautiful, Yosef. And also another one was Avshalom, David HaMelech's son. Avshalom, he was a Ben Soleh, but also he was very beautiful, just like Yosef. And this Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, what? Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai? What?
Yeah, I think it's two Rabbi Yochanans, right? Just,
Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai.
oh, it is? Okay.
So he had a beautiful face. So the bandit tells him, Rabbi Shakish tells him, your beauty should go to the girls. You don't need to have this kind of looks as a man. So he tells him, before you rob me, he says, I'll give you my sister. Rabbi Yochanan had a beautiful sister. They say if Rabbi Yochanan was so pretty, imagine his sister, right? Which is an actual girl. So they say, if you...
I can give my sister to a non-Jew?
No, he was Jewish. Reshaki was Jewish.
Oh, he's Jewish.
Sorry, he was Jewish. Reshaki was
I thought
Jewish,
he was a
but he was just a bandit. He
Oh.
was a gangster. A regular
Bugsy
gangster.
Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel, one of those guys, right?
Ah.
So he tells him, if you change your ways, I'll give you my sister. So he heard that advice. He's like, wow, that's a deal. It's a deal I can't turn up. He decided he's gonna take it. To marry his sister. A lot of questions too. Why would he?
Why marry the
Why-
sister? Go after her. He's a bandit.
No, he said, I'm gonna give you my sister. You can't just take her. Give
He
my.
can take whatever he wants. He's a bandit.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
well,
right now. Give me your sister.
Outlaw,
I'll
you know?
I guess he had some kind of respect in those days, right? They didn't go rape him. They just robbed the money. I don't know. Good question. But there's a question also. Why would he want him to marry his sister before? This guy's a bandit, Rasha. So he tells him, I'm gonna let you marry my sister. And what happened was, he agreed. And now I'll tell you where he was standing. There was a river between them. Right, Resh Lakish was on one side of the river, and Rabbi Yochanan was on one side of the river. And he was coming to attack him. And before he jumped over the river, he told him the whole situation, the whole conversation that they had, and he agreed to marry the sister. Now I want to let you guys know, Resh Lakish, he wasn't just a bandit, he also had power. Mighty. He was a warrior. So when he crossed this river, usually, that was his hiding spot. He would jump and already get to the other side of the river. It wasn't a wide river. It was enough that anyone could just jump over it. I don't get,
He had hops.
He had hops, right? He was able to jump. So he jumped over the river and he was able to hijack guys. In this story, the Gemara says that after he agreed to change his ways and decided to be a new person, he tried to jump and he couldn't do it.
You what?
The Gemara says he tried to jump
Oh.
and he couldn't do it. Famous question. What does that mean? Jump. Why do I care if he couldn't do it? What does that mean? I have to say a deep, deep message over here. It's very, very deep. The answer is like this. When it comes to spirituality, when it comes to Torah lifestyle, when it comes to taking on something in terms of spirituality, if it's money, if it's zakah, if it's chesed, if it's going to shul, if it's going to a class, if it's doing something, when it comes to Torah,
Gaining one and not gaining.
it seems to the outside eye that when it comes to physical things, you lose out. It will seem on the physical eye, you lose out on things. I'll give you an example. Tonight, we're all here right now. I'm sure you had other things to do. I'm sure you definitely had other things to do, whether it's the wife, whether it's this, whether it's that. There's things to do. You came here tonight, it looks like you lost out on whatever's going on outside, but you actually gained just being here. So the person who looks at the outside like, why should I come to class? I'm maybe losing out. So to him, he makes a decision not to come and do whatever he has to do. I'm not saying it's go to bed. I'm just saying that's what he decides. The person who comes here takes that leap to say, I'm putting the physical on the side and I'm sticking right now for this hour to spirituality. And that's the message over here. That when he decided to become good, he lost that power to be that mighty warrior that he was. But you know who he became? Resh Lakish in the Gemara. We say his name every single day.
He kept the name.
Kept the name Resh Lakish to teach us a lesson.
He wasn't born with that name, though.
No,
Obviously.
obviously not.
No one knows his original.
It's a good question. Good question. They call him Resh Lakish.
That's it.
But the rabbis tell us, you know why they call him that? Still, they should change his name because it's not nice, right?
Yeah.
To teach us a lesson. Even a person like him can rise to great things. That's the lesson. Even a bandit can become a great, great rabbi. It's just channeling that energy that you have, taken to the good thing. I want to give you guys a story. There was a boy, a teenage guy. He told himself, I want to find the purpose of life. I want to find the purpose of life. I want to find the idea of life. What's the whole meaning? I'm lost, right? Goes to Buddhists, he goes to all these different types of psychological things. People go to yoga these days just to get meditation, to get a sense of calmness, right? I don't believe in that stuff. I don't think it actually helps. Some things do help. I think meditation is very important. But if it's done correctly, right now, this is called meditation. You're thinking, you're escaping from your daily routine, and you're just connecting to a different thing. This is a form of meditation. So this boy said to himself, I want to find the meaning of life. So he traveled all types of different destinations. He went to the desert, he went to the forest, he went to the Swiss Alps, all different types of locations, just to find his answer. And one day he gets to a mountain range, And he finds people that tell him, on top of the mountain, there's a huge palace, and in that palace, there's a wise man. The wise man, right? And this wise man is going to give you the answer to your question. So the boy travels up the mountain, he climbs the mountain, he peaks, gets to the summit, reaches the palace, and it's a beautiful, beautiful palace. Got marble floors, right? Venetian ceilings, got Michelangelo paintings, everything was glorious. And he sees this wise man, guy sitting there with tons of people around him, and they're, putting fruits in his mouth, like the movies with the fan, right? Right? Typical thing, like you think it is. And the wise man is sitting there, and the boy comes up to him, and he tells him, "Wise man," he says, "I wanted to know what the purpose of life is. What's the meaning of life? How do I stick to our goal?" And the wise man tells him, "I can tell you're not ready for the answer, but I want you to come back after 2 hours and when I think you're ready, I'll give you the answer. But before you go for 2 hours, I want to give you 2 conditions. One condition is, walk around my palace, enjoy and take a look at everything you see. And the second thing is I'm giving you a spoon. Take this spoon, and in this spoon, I'm putting 2 drops of oil in the spoon. When you come back to me after 2 hours, come back to me with the oil in the spoon." That's it. 2 conditions. One thing is, tour the whole castle, enjoy everything, tell me what you like. And the second condition is, don't drop the oil. Fine. So the boy says, okay. Starts walking around the whole castle. And he's on the way, he's passing marble stones, right? Porcelain tile, all these beautiful ceilings in the garden. There's a garden that took 10 hours of garden and landscaping work just to set it up. And there's a fountain, and there's a beautiful view. Everything is hadid. The orchards, everything is magnificent. Boy walks around the whole castle, comes back after 2 hours, and he has a spoon in his hand. He goes to the wise man, he goes, "I got it. I got the answer." The wise man says, "Dad, what's the answer?" He says, "I don't know, but I have the condition. I have the oil and I have the spoon. I have it." The wise man tells him, "Okay, so what was the most beautiful part of my castle?" The boy looks at the spoon, looks at the oil, and he goes, "Honestly, I didn't even realize. I was so busy paying attention to the spoon and the oil that I wasn't able to look at anything around me. I was totally non-existent for my surroundings. I had to focus on this." So the wise man tells him, "You missed the point." Sends him back to do the same 2-hour tour again. But he said, "This time enjoy and take a look. I want to find out exactly what you liked." Does the same thing, walks around for 2 hours, comes back, and he tells the wise man like this, "I walked by one of your paintings. It was amazing. I saw the way the artist did this, and then I walked by the garden, and I saw the orchards, and I saw the field, and everything I saw, but the best thing I saw was the Venetian ceiling. Wow, what a painting." So the wise man says, "Oh yeah, nice. Okay." Now he tells the boy, "How about the spoon?" The boy looks down at the spoon, and he says, "Drop the oil. Drop the oil." So the wise man tells the boy, he says, "That's your answer." Does anyone here understand the message? What did the wise man answer to this boy after 2 trips? What was the end goal? What was the message?
And you gotta put your mind to one thing only. And stay focused on it, because you
I'm-
can't do 2 things at once.
I'm getting that you can't have everything.
You
You
can't
have
have
your
that.
cake and eat it too. You
but
can't
he-
keep the oil and you can't enjoy all the beauty.
I have it as if
You
you gotta
can't, or
focus
you
on
could?
one thing only
Can't.
in order to do it right. Can't do 2 things and pick one to do right. You gotta focus on
I hear
one
what you're
thing
saying.
and the one thing is right.
But the answer, the message of the story was that you have to know the famous work-life balance, the famous spirituality, physicality balance. There's a spoon in our hands. There's oil in there. That's a Torah. We have a spirituality. We have a life that we need to live by. And then there's the beautiful palace around. That's the world. And the wise man telling us you have to enjoy both of them. It's a way to do. It's a way to enjoy both things. If the guy was able to hold on to the spoon and stop for a second, look and enjoy, he can do it. Same with our life. There's a way to do both things. You can go on a beautiful vacation. You can even go to any of these crazy places, right? But all you have to do is keep your eye on the spoon. Bring your food. Find the shul. If you don't find the shul, find 10 guys. Find something that can connect you to that spoon of oil. It's not hard. I'm telling you, if you really, really tried, every place in the world can find something with Judaism. I've been in crazy places, and some of these places in the middle of the Midwest, something there. Even if there's no minyan, there's still something that connected me to something. I didn't lose focus of that spoon of oil. I went to Dutch Wonderland. Have you go to Dutch Wonderland? Have you heard of Dutch Wonderland? No, it's in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Amish town. Been to the Amish? No? No one to the Amish? Get out of here, man. Amish is beautiful. Wow.
Beautiful. What's there?
They got some
Beautiful.
music.
It's like living in like the Italian. It's beautiful. Old lands, farms. Hadid. I like that stuff. I like countryside. So I went to the Lancaster. There's an amusement park next to Hershey.
Still buying fidget spinners.
They probably make them though.
I'm doing that stuff with them.
Physics. They have fidget
You're the
spinners.
only one still buying.
No, but they have them with the lights.
What?
Fidget spinner with lights. You know
No, they don't buy
the
those.
religious. So there's a place there, and there's an amusement park there only for kids. It's beautiful, huge, like Six Flags next to Hershey, but it's just for kids. It's called Dutch Wonderland. Amazing place. So I go there with the kids. Happens to be I go there on a good day. I got mincha and arbit over there. I looked, found guys, having yan. I know how to enjoy the amusement park with everything. I told my kid, even when you're here, we're doing whatever we're doing.
How did you find me? So
Having yan. Say
You
Jews.
brought it together? Or
No.
they-
We spoke. What's having yan? You know, you walk around the airport. Okay, you have time to burn, right? You have to put tefillin on in the morning. A lot of people don't like to do this. They're embarrassed, right? Nothing to be embarrassed about. But go find a terminal, and any of the New York airports, there's probably minyan every single place you go. Walk to the side where the JetBlue plane's going to Vegas, right? It's a huge minyan, probably bigger than Shai Tzion,
Yeah.
right? There's probably also guys collecting money in that minyan,
In August,
right?
in
100%.
August on ASD, maybe 50 guys in the minyan.
100%. And there's probably much more that I prayed earlier. I believe it.
Yeah.
Right? You can find it. It's not hard to find these things. You have to decide you want to go and get it. It's all up to us. And you know what? It's not only in terms of this, it's also in terms of life also. You have to also know how to switch that balance. I'll give you a prime example. You have a guy, I always thought of this, it's very interesting. The guy is a CEO, let's say, of any of these big retail chains, right? Like 300 stores. Or even a wholesale guy that sells Walmart and Walgreens and biggest chains out there, right? What's another chain? Walmart, what's another one?
Kroger.
Who? Kroger, right?
Biggest account.
Costco, whatever you have, right?
Walmart isn't big anymore.
Walmart's not big anymore? I'm in the old days. So who's the biggest? Kroger?
Kroger.
Why are they still there? I don't know.
Kroger.
Walmart's always big,
Fred
right?
Meyer,
Sam's Club, right? Is that? No.
Costco.
Okay, any of these big guys, right?
Marmac.
Guys doing, we'll go a little lower, $200 million a year. Guy's rolling. When he's at work, he's CEO of 500 guys.
Well, sign me up for this job.
Right? This guy's living the high life, okay? When he's at work, he is the boss. But however, in his home, he's got a 10-year-old kid or an 8-year-old kid. Okay? Even though he's got another 4-year-old kid. When he comes home, he's got to put the CEO badge on the side. He has to go on the floor and play roly-poly with the 4-year-old kid. And if he doesn't do that, he lost his whole purpose in life. Because if he comes home and he still thinks he's the CEO of that company, which he is, you missed the point. Because the whole point of you being that CEO and that big guy is only to make your family happy. And if it's not, then what are you doing it for? For what? So you're being rich and you're being high and you're being rolling and you're being happy. Is it for who? Because your money's going somewhere, right? It's going to your wife, obviously. Or maybe it could go to you and you're just not giving your wife anything. Then you won't be married for so long. So I don't know how it's going to work. Right? So the money's got to go somewhere. So it's going to your family. So obviously you're doing it for your family. So when you come home, you have to take that switch off. Leave your ego or your high status at work. Don't bring it home. And connect with this little kid who wants to play Play-Doh on the table. And it's probably like, what? I just came dealing with like huge accounts and I'm playing Play-Doh, rolling the challah on the table. What does that have to do with anything? That's what life's about. And that same guy has to go next morning and go back to his job and be the same guy he is. That's what a real man is. Make that switch. Work-life balance. It's in anything. Even the rabbi. Sometimes you see him in class, he's giving class, he's right, he's rolling, he's in the Torah. That same rabbi, you can see him in the pizza store, right, with his kids, french fries and everything, rolling his shirt up, and he's getting sloppy. Why? Because he's living the moment. Some of the times I do is I take the kids out and people are like, what? You do those things? Yeah, I have to be with the kids also. I gotta take the kids out, right? They want to go out, they want to go do something, I have to be also normal, right? Take them to a place, roll up your sleeves a little bit. You don't have to always wear a tie. You know, you can loosen up a little bit. But you still have to know that.
Play ball with us.
Play ball. I don't play ball. Right? But it's still with that same motto. Keep yourself balanced all the time. All the time. That's what Parasha says. Hayom. Every day you have a new day to take on the new thing and say, okay, I'm doing this. But when you decide it, there's one more rule. The next word. Kulchem. Atem netzabim hayom kulechem. Together. You have to have achdu in life. It's an amazing lesson before Rosh Hashanah. Don't think that when you take something on by yourself, okay, I'm doing it by myself. I'm done. You gotta do it together. You have to have achdut. If you don't have achdut in the nation, it's done. Mashiach will not come if there's no togetherness. Don't think we're close to it. I hope we are. But I'll give you guys a prime example. It happens every single day, and it's the truth. Whether it's not nice or nice, not nice, it's the truth. You walk to Borough Park or you drive to Borough Park, right? You see a guy on jacket, Hasid, Peyot, right? You look at him as if he's a stranger from Africa. No one in this room, we don't feel like he's a brother. We don't feel like he's another Jew. Or you have a guy, right, in South Africa, that could be, he's a regular Sephardic guy even. You don't connect to him. Or a guy from London, different accent, it's a little different. Or a French guy. Or even you have an Ethiopian guy. Regular Jewish guy. It could be a regular Jewish, even religious guy. We don't connect. You have to know how to take that barrier that we have, knock it down. So what if he has a different accent? So what if it's a different name? So what if he even looks differently? Put it aside.
In Israel, it's very much like that.
In Israel, it is. It's very much like that. You can have a Chinese Jewish guy.
I feel like it's wrong, actually.
No way.
I don't think you really like.
No.
There is
on the street, no, but
no, but there is
Someone Jewish, you feel a connection to them.
Everyone,
you have to feel a connection. A lot of guys have that stigma that blocks them.
Yeah.
It's the stigma.
No matter where I am, if I see a Jew, it's like automatically feel connected to them.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
if you
I
can,
don't want.
So
if you can have that,
I was
it's
in
great.
Vegas, right? By the
I had
pool,
that.
and I see these. I also hear him talking Hebrew. It's like, hey.
Right, you feel happy.
All of a sudden, you're best friends with the
You
guy.
feel happy, you can connect
know,
them.
yeah, you're friends with him, you know?
You're great. A lot of guys have that stigma. It's itchy, right?
Yeah.
J-Dub?
What?
They say J-Dub, he's out. Right? J-Dub is out. Itchy, he's out. Why? Because that's
It's one
stigma,
thing.
right? J-Dub, it's like Ashna, it's another
One thing Rabbi Aluf said last year, and I love the speech. He basically said that no matter what type of Jew you are, and they're all one with a tattoo,
Right.
one with an earring, this and that. They're all sitting in a tank, fighting one mission. At the end of the day, it's one.
They're
mission.
all one.
They're all one.
That's what Kulachem is. That's the whole topic. That's all. I want to give you guys a small little story just to also prove to you how it really comes to play from a rabbi standpoint. I'll give you, this won't happen anymore because not many people live this way. But here's a story what happened with the rabbi named Rabbi Eliyahu Lapian. Big tzaddik. Came from Europe after the war, he went to Israel. Now in those times, Israel, even these days, to walk in Tel Aviv, it's not the easiest place to walk around. It's tough. On Shabbat especially, it's not such a, you don't feel like it's a Jewish place. It is still Jewish, but different world.
It's the holiest city in Israel.
It is, you know why?
There's the most
It is.
rules.
churches.
Not only that, there's the most
There's
shuls.
no avodah zarah, there's no church.
Beautiful.
There's
I'll
also
tell-
the more shuls than Jerusalem.
Yeah, but they just don't give a shit.
I'll tell you more than
all
that.
the time.
I'll tell you more than that. They say the further a person is, the closer he really is. The further a person really is, it's like rubber band. Rubber band, right? You pull it far, far, far away. When you let go, it goes right back to each other. Right? But if you pull a little bit, it doesn't go so far. The more you pull it back, the further you think someone really is, the really closer he is. That's Tel Aviv, it really is. So this Rabbi Lapian, he was living this way. And one day he was walking in Yerushalayim, and he's walking on Shabbat. He's walking to Shul, and even there in Yerushalayim, there's still people who are driving, and he's telling his shamash that with him, he said, listen, every time I see a guy driving on Shabbat and I know he's Jewish, it pains me, it hurts me. He said, I don't know how much longer I can walk to Shul. And it wasn't a far walk, maybe a 10-minute walk. So he's walking and he sees more cars driving, he tells the shamash, let's go back home. I'd rather go pray at home, Yachid. I can't handle it. It hurts me to see someone else do this. Because he felt that it's hurting him.
Why is he assuming they're Jewish?
So, in those days, the story I was reading was that it was an old city of Jerusalem. In those days, it was after the war of the 6-Day War,
Oh, okay.
when already the city
Around.
wasn't out. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was today. Where they have Arabs, it was totally Jewish. Took over the city. Only later on, after the Yom Kippur, could be no, it's close.
It's not anything.
So anyway, so he's walking with the shamash and he tells him, listen, let's go home. As he's walking home, a taxi guy with the sign on him, right, right? They have the taxi on, they're Jewish, right? He comes and he stops by the curb and he pulls down the window. Slicha harav. Okay, in Shabbat. He's on the car. Slicha harav. How can I get to this place and this place? Imagine the situation. The rabbi is already walking home from shul because he can't handle people driving. Now I have a Jewish taxi guy stopping down, rolling the window down, asking where to get to the place. Slicha harav. Harav, he calls him the rabbi. He knows, right? So he's acknowledging that he's a religious guy. So he tells him, how can I get to this place? What's the rabbi supposed to do? How are we supposed to act? Normal guy would say, shah. Laughing Paul, right? Get out of the car. Yeah, right. Do something. Rabbi tells him one line. Listen to what he tells him. He tells him, I'll tell you in English. He says, I want to help you. You're a Jew, I want to help you. I really want to help you. I want you to go to where you need to go. But how should I answer you? What should I tell you? Hashem tells me you have to keep Shabbat. And I don't want to go against His law, but also I don't want to hurt your feelings. What should I do? The guy got out of his car, turned the keys off, got out of the car, handed the keys to the rabbi and said, that was the first time someone ever spoke nicely to me about religion. He said, from this day on, I'm done. I'm keeping Shabbat. That day, he followed the rabbi wherever he went, and he became one of his top students. You know what he said? So when he was growing up in his house, when he probably didn't try. When he was growing up, it was always do this, do that, forcefully. It was always forced. It was never a good thing. It was never happy. It never came from the heart. And he said when he became not religious, his parents, threw him out, and everything was, it was ostracized. He was gone. No one explained to him what it really is about. He said, I actually felt that when you spoke to me, it came from your heart. I knew you didn't do it because you didn't want to help me out. You actually did. And he said, that's what got me in. How many people can actually do that? Go and speak to the person from your heart. Right? When you try to get you to come to class, I'm not getting you to come to this class so that my class could be huge. Don't do that. Just come to the class that you guys can enjoy and we can enjoy together. Just sitting with the boys. Right? When was the last time I saw you? When was the last time I saw you? Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago? Purim? It's too long. Right? Just seeing you guys every single week is enough of research to come here. Even if we hecky about school and tuition, just enough to come here. Right? That's all I care about, just to see you guys. That's what it's all about. If we can live this way, that is the key to success. 2 things. One thing is knowing how to stay focused on the spoon with the oil, purpose in life, know what's important in life, and also things that aren't important, you have to enjoy them. Hashem gave us all this beautiful food, not to just look at it, to enjoy it, make baracha, enjoy it, and eat and drink. Don't say, I'm not eating that stuff, I'm not doing that, I'm not going there, I'm living only in my house. It doesn't work that way. But also have a purpose in life, and also another thing, have camaraderie, have friendship, have beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Achdut, but unity. Okay, one more story? One more short one. The class is over. I'm going to one little off-topic story. Just to show you what kids can do. Kids in school. Let's talk about school. All the bullying, it's there. Bless you. But I read a story that is still valid. And it can show a little bit of a light of what some kids still have. The kid in school, maybe 3rd grade, he's walking in class. And there was a puddle outside in the hallway, and he slipped. And he fell in the puddle, and he got wet on his pants in a certain spot that wasn't gonna look good. The kid's now maybe 10-year-old kid, and he's embarrassed.
You need Adam Sandler.
You need Adam Sandler, right? What's that? Blue Madison, right? It's cool, right? It's the first thing I thought about. So he walks into the room, and he tells himself, he crouched, he scrooched down. He went to his desk, put his head down, and he said, "Please, Hashem, please,
Right.
not drive. Take care of me. Help me out. I'm gonna get really embarrassed." The kid was really crying. It's a traumatic thing. It's not easy. Another kid walks in the room, and he's holding a fish in a bag, goldfish in a bag. And he's showing the teacher, "I have a goldfish. I got this."
Harry.
All the kids are looking at the goldfish, and they're playing with it, and they're getting a little rowdy. And the bag, and the kid spills all the water on the kid that's already wet all over his pants. So the kid that got the thing, he's like, "Wow, right? Hashem answered my prayer. I'm totally happy right now." And you would think the contrary. You think like you gotta be angry. But all the kids saw what happened, and everyone went to help him out. His books got all wet. His desk is all wet. They went to go help him out. And now the kid's cool now, you know? He didn't get angry. He's like, wow, okay, I'm cool, right? Okay, can accept it now. He says, oh, wearing his pants. This teacher got him new pants. Everyone was rolling. Everything was happy. Story went on perfectly. The kid goes home now, and he meets on the bus stop other kid, the fish. And he tells the boy, he says, how you doing? He says, I'm sorry for whatever happened. And the boy that had the wet stain, he tells the guy at the fish, he says, did you do it on purpose? He says, yes. He says, I saw what happened to you. And I noticed that you're embarrassed. So I decided
To kill this fish.
to get the fish, right? Fish probably died, I'm sorry. You know how I think the story and switch it, you know? But he told the boy, he said, I realized what happened, and I purposely did it. I purposely spilled it on you so you wouldn't get embarrassed. That's what happened. There's still
It's a big mitzvah. What a blessing.
there's still people out there, still kids out there that still have this thing out there. It's very tough to find it, but it's out there. So if we can do that in our life, to know how to take away someone else's pain, that's the biggest blessing. Amen. Very nice. Now we can heck your tuition, all that stuff.